Bodhicitta, the indestructible mind. Welcome to our deep dive into a fascinating dialogue between a master and a student on Vajra Bodhicitta, the diamond mind of awakening. The student wants to understand what Bodhicitta truly is, especially through the diamond Vajra metaphors used in the sutra. The core of the master's teachings seems to revolve around one fundamental question: who are you? This is the key to understanding the metaphors. The master aims to guide the students to distinguish between the unchanging, true self, the self-nature, and the ever-changing, transient phenomena, delusions, such as thoughts, feelings, and the physical body. Once this distinction is made, the metaphors become clear. Let's follow this thread of who are you through each of the master's explanations. This sutra says, for example, a Vajra cannot be held by anything else, only by the Vajrati diamond ground. The master clarifies that this diamond ground isn't a physical earth, but a special spiritual power, or an advanced state of being, like the strength of a guardian Vajra. The Vajra diamonds here isn't a mere gemstone. Its essence is its immense weight and indestructible firmness. It's so substantial that even a celestial being's power might not be enough to hold it. How does this relate to Bodhicitta? The sutra continues, it is the same with the Bodhicitta mind. It cannot be held by Shravakas or Pratyekabuddhas, but only by those who are advancing towards Sarvagata. Sarvagata, Sanskrit for all-knowing, is the master's term for the complete wisdom of a Buddha, the ocean of omniscience. The goal of Bodhicitta is to achieve this state and become a Buddha. Shravakas and Pratyekabuddhas cannot hold Bodhicitta not because of a lack of ability, but because their initial aspiration is different. Their goal is personal liberation and enlightenment, not the complete awakening of a Buddha for the benefit of all beings. The ability to hold Bodhicitta, therefore, depends on the size and direction of one's aspiration and vows. The sutra says, a vessel with no flaws can be used to hold water, and it will never leak into the ground. The master then connects this to Bodhicitta. The Vajra vessel of Bodhicitta is also like this. It can hold the water of good roots without it ever leaking into the realms of rebirth. The crucial question is, how does it not leak? This is where the master returns to the fundamental question of who are you? He explains that our good deeds and merits leak away because we identify with the wrong things. If we identify with the impermanent things, the body, thoughts, and feelings, what the master calls the five aggregates or illusory phenomena, it's like trying to hold water in a broken cup. No matter how much you pour in, it will all leak away. To prevent the leakage, you must shift your identification to your unchanging self-nature. When you reside in that true self, the merits you accumulate have a vessel that will not leak. Your ability to preserve merit depends on whether your heart identifies with fleeting phenomena or with the eternal self-nature. The sutra says, for example, the Vajra foundation can hold up the great earth. The master interprets the Vajra foundation as the bedrock that supports the world and prevents it from collapsing. How is Bodhicitta like this foundation? The sutra explains, the Bodhicitta mind can hold all the vows and practices of a bodhisattva, preventing them from falling and becoming lost in the three realms. This means that Bodhicitta provides a stable foundation for a bodhisattva's vast and long-term vows, ensuring they don't regress on their spiritual journey or fall back into the cycle of rebirth. How is this stability achieved? By acting in accordance with the self-nature. The bodhisattva's vows, like the self-nature, must be endless. The master refers to the four boundless vows from the Avatamsaka Sutra, which are as endless as the suffering of sentient beings. When practices are rooted in this endless, non-arising and non-ceasing self-nature, the vows will have the power to sustain you. The sutra presents two more vivid metaphors. For example, a Vajra, even after being in water for a long time, does not rot or become wet. And, for example, a Vajra cannot be burned or made hot by any kind of fire. The master links these two directly to Bodhicitta in the cycle of birth and death. Amidst the waters of karma and delusion and the fires of suffering, How can the mind remain unharmed? The Master's answer is consistent. You must recognize that the unchanging self-nature is who you truly are. If you genuinely realize that the core of your being has never been damaged or changed by the ups and downs of life and death, then you will see that your mind, the self-nature itself, has never been corrupted or altered. If you don't recognize this truth, you'll unconsciously identify with the phenomena of birth and death, clinging to every fleeting feeling, thought, and experience as me. Be swept along by these things, trapped in the cycle. The Master laments that mistaking the impermanent for the true self is the most tragic thing in the world. Similarly, we feel the pain of suffering because we identify with the fire of our afflictions. The Master explains that the Vajra here is the self-nature. While the fire of suffering may rage, it cannot burn or change the self-nature itself. We only feel pain when we mistakenly believe the suffering is real and that we are the ones in pain. The key is to let go of this clinging, particularly our attachment to things we like and believe to be real. By letting go, we can see through the illusion of suffering. The final metaphor states, for example, only upon the Vajra throne can the Buddhas sit in the place of enlightenment, subduing all demons, and achieve perfect enlightenment. No other seats can hold them. The Master connects the Vajra throne to the seat of the Tathagata in the Lotus Sutra, whose essence is the emptiness of all phenomena. The Vajra throne, like Bodhicitta, ultimately points to emptiness, which is the self-nature. The Master emphasizes that without this foundation, this recognition of self-nature and realization of emptiness, one cannot establish a true place of practice, conquer inner demons, or attain Buddhahood. This is why even an arhat who has realized non-self must eventually return to the question, if there is no I, then who am I? They must then study the sutras that speak of self-nature to enter the Mahayana path. Realizing self-nature is the bedrock of becoming a Buddha. The sutra concludes, the Bodhicitta mind possesses such immeasurable merit. If a being awakens the mind of Anuttara Samyak Sambodhi, they will receive this great merit. The Master offers a beautiful explanation for why this receiving sounds so effortless. Anuttara Samyak Sambodhi, the unsurpassed, perfect, and complete awakening, is the goal of Buddhahood. By its very nature, this goal contains all the. Therefore, when you sincerely and with certainty set this as your goal, you have, from the perspective of the goal itself, already potentially obtained all its merits. The Master uses the metaphor of a watermelon seed. The seed contains all the potential and information to grow into a large watermelon, but you can't say you've eaten a watermelon just by holding the seed. You still have to plant it, water it, and wait. Similarly, awakening Bodhicitta is like receiving the seeds and instructions for Buddhahood. Once you have the seeds, you must practice step by step. With each step, you truly gain a little more of the merit. Only when you become a Buddha have you fully actualized the seed's potential and completely eaten the watermelon. The Master's teachings, when distilled, point to two keys: actions, recognize, and do not identify. Recognize means learning to distinguish the unchanging observer, the self-nature, from the fleeting phenomena of thoughts, feelings, and the drama of your life. Do not identify means consciously shifting your sense of self from those impermanent phenomena to the unchanging self-nature. This shift is the core of the practice. The Master also raises a practical question. Even if you start to recognize your true nature, you will still create karma in your daily life. The key is whether you identify with that karma as yours and real. You don't think your clothes are you, so you don't feed them. In the same way, can you not identify with your karma? Here is a question for you to consider before you can fully detach from the pull of karma. How might simply beginning the practice of consciously distinguishing between your inner observer, the self-nature, and the drama of your life, the external events, emotional ups and downs, and karmic feelings, Change your perception of your current experience. How might your reactions be different? This is something to observe and reflect on. That's all for our in-depth discussion today. See you next time.